I will go first. This is Sandra. Thank you for this opportunity to share what we have done here in Latin America. Our first workshop was in a hybrid modality, and this was a presentation and implementation guide with the group IXSY, who organized a training session, a few days of training for local ISPs. This was done there in Yucatan, Mexico. Yucatan is a state next to the Caribbean, and this is a state that is investing a lot in cybersecurity and trying to become the cybersecurity state here in our country. In August, we had a couple of days, and the first day was theory, and the second day was practice. We had 17 participants, and indeed the first day was about Internet society and MANS. I always focus in Internet society's objectives because that is the foundation of everything else that we do together. We had the help of Emmanuel Serrano, which was there locally talking about the MANS lab presentations. There's a lab from Cisco that was able to be used there as an example. And the second day, Erika gave the MANS tools workshop, and Emmanuel helped us to do a small test with the participants so they could see what kind of information they needed to register to MANS. This was all translated into Spanish. So that was one of our activities. These are some pictures and some statistics about our presentations. We used a tool called Mentimeter so we can ask the participants some questions, and we had some different votes there about different topics to make it more interactive. And we had different votes as well. Here is the Cisco MANS Lab Manager. This was the second day. As you can see, there's Erika explaining different ACLs, the different techniques in order to align with MANS. We have here other statistics about the different tools that they can use. And we got a draft in Spanish from the operator programs, so they can see that it's not that difficult to join MANS, and they don't have to have everything already there in order to join, that they can be in whatever point of implementation, and MANS exists to help them as well. So that was day 2. And before we move to the ISP event, I also want to comment that we had another 2-hour-long workshop with ANUYES. ANUYES is the Association of Technical Universities here in Mexico. They are 200 universities, the best technical units in all our country. We had a very useful workshop. It was interactive along with Erika and myself. There were around 40 participants, and it was also with other groups here, like LAC and other chapters here in Mexico and Latin America. We created also this sense of a common goal to work not only during that workshop, but also in the future. So it was a good result that we had, the willingness of everyone to get more involved in the future and strengthen our network. And Erika, I think that you can start with the ISP.
Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure for me to participate in this space through the activities we have carried out from the training group and those that are yet to execute for the remainder of the year. In this ESCP event, a presentation, what is manners and the importance of implementing these standards. At Internet Exchange Points, this talk plays on August 23 in Cali, Colombia, during the Plus ESP event, which brought together various internet service providers from Colombia and had more than 18 participants in the room. This was the event. The next event was the LAC 40. In this activity, we had the first Manners community meeting held at a LAC event where we were able to discuss a update from The Secretariat, Manners Ambassadors and Fellows share their experience and promoting manners in Brazil. This participation has Gilberto Sorello and RPKI deployment in the LAC region. How LAC has been assisting members with deploying RPKI, RPKI development, research, and finish, we have open discuss. Mm, we have the desired number of participants, but we began coordinations with Megan the possibility of holding this meeting at a future event and adding it to the official agenda. The other event, a training at the Expo ESP event held on October 26th. We had the opportunity to deliver a specific presentation about manners to over 15 internet service provider and network operators in Colombia. Too, we were able to provide information on how to enroll in manners and the tools they can use to validate compliance with the actions on their respective networks. Additionally, we reached an agreement to implement an annual training program on manners at each of these events. Now, about the next activities, I would like to inform you about another activity that I have planned on November 29. We will be conducting technical workshops. During these sessions, we will have the opportunity to engage in practical labs regarding the implementation of manners actions and the use of validation tools. I have organized this workshop in collaboration with NAP Colombia, which is the traffic exchange point for Colombia, along with LACNIC and ICANN and ISO, Colombia chat. We are expecting 16 participants to attend the workshops in person over the course of today. I also want to thank Anand and Sandra for contributing their efforts to the plan outlined by the training group. Now, Sandra told you about the next activities.
Yes, there will be another shop the 3rd of December. It is going to be called Creating Together a More Reliable Internet Experience. It will be a hype with Erika in Colombia and us online. That is a next step that we will be taking part of. And there's also a new community that I have organized here in Latin America. It is called the Jaguar Clan because, we are a group of different companies, different efforts. Mine is about the help and mentorship of women in STEM, especially women in cybersecurity, because there's a number that says that there's 200 years left until there's the same number of women in technical careers than men. So this was part of my initiative here for this clan. This is an open education group. There is a new technical community that will be shown more formally next year with the IFT, the Federal Telecommunications Institute here in Mexico. We have also partnered with a company called Hard Rocks in Spain and other companies here in Mexico, so we can create this group. This clan is about education, and we also follow the Internet Society's objectives for a safer internet in general. Mexico is one of the most attacked countries in the world, and it's always fighting with Brazil for the number one or number two most attacked countries in Latin America. We have this community in Telegram, the Clan Jaguar, and we create several topics for this plan, and we created the MANS EVGP security channel, so we can promote MANS, and we can keep talking about this even after this 6 months end, because I noticed that in the cybersecurity communities or the CTF, the Capture the Flag contests that we have in Spanish. We have rocks and many different events here in cybersecurity. They talk about everything but routing. There's always the missing piece here there in terms of routing. So this is a new community that is starting out. We have a web page in Spanish. It's just starting. Hopefully we can have it in English so the ones who don't speak Spanish can understand that this is a new community, and I can also promote tools or papers that the rest of the team does, because it's going to be a permanent effort.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have to play the time police role here, so I'm gonna try to stop you there. I will also add Sergio was the third member of the team. He is not feeling well today, but he also did several webinars in the Dominican Republic and Honduras and a few other places. So he was also quite busy. He's just not available today to tell you all about it. But thank you, training team. You've done an amazing job.